Hello and welcome to
Welcome to
Hello and welcome to the Dad and Sons podcast, where I can definitely say this intro properly. I'm your co-host, Dad or Son, Matt, and we have the elegant, the beautiful Liam over there. How you doing, Liam?
I like how you laughed after beautiful.
I think he laughed because he was wondering which one to say, George or me, after being beautiful and elegant. And he went with me, which is great.
I mean, we were just talking about how not beautiful I'm feeling these days.
Yeah, now we want to, stick the knife deeper into your back. Make sure you really feel like just disgusting,
Yeah, you know when you eat pizza?
Yeah.
And for the next entire day of your life you just feel kind of bloated. I've been eating a lot of pizza lately and I wish I haven't been.
You like garbage. You need to stop eating garbage. That's it. You don't have to be vegan, by the way.
Eating garbage is the hardest part. Stopping that shit and getting into good habits is easily the hardest part.
Sorry. For context, we were just talking about weight loss and how Liam's been working out, and at this point in time, Matt just looks like a Terry Crews god.
No.
Terry Crews is
compared to 4 years ago.
Yeah. You've come a long way, Matt.
Yeah, okay. Compared to 4 years ago, yes.
And I'm just like the opposite. I really need to go downstairs to the gym room and work out.
You even have a gym room.
I know, I'm a lazy piece of shit.
Wait, what? If you actually have a gym room and you don't... Yeah, you got no excuse.
And I look like burnt ice cream.
What is burnt ice cream?
It's
melted
what I
ice.
look like without a shirt on. You know how ice cream is white and burnt things are kind of like dark,
puddled vanilla ice cream,
bubbly. Yeah. Just imagine a beige slimy cream seeping out of my chest and spilling onto the floor whenever I'm trying to impress the girlfriend
with a small checkered blanket over the top of it.
And some sprinkles and chocolate fudge topping.
Yeah.
Some hair got into it.
Yeah.
Lots of hairballs.
Like some dog walked past it and some dog hair fell on it.
And then the dog ate it because it's delicious.
Oh, well, we're going far in. We're going deep. Going deep into this. Hello. We occasionally talk about video games.
Do we?
Oh no, we can't say that. That's trademark. We can't say that.
Yeah, that's the optional podcast, the one that's extra content. Dad and Sons is your main quest.
Yes,
your main quest podcast. Ooh, sorry, I gotta notice.
You're checking your phone right now?
What? Of course not.
So that's a little bit rude.
What's everyone playing?
I've been playing too much Path of Exile. So
again.
I could pick up Yakuza, but
oh yeah, we nearly bullied you into doing that.
I need to do that. I'm gonna try to pick that up because that could be a cool game. And I've been thinking about picking up a PS4 again, but I might wait for Black Friday. But yeah, I've been boring. I've been boring this week. It's Path of Exile. It's just like scratching that itch, that deep itch that you just can't quite reach. You try to be flexible.
You can't say it's been boring when you moved apartments. You've been busy.
Yeah, well, yeah, I've been pretty busy. So when I sit down, I kind of just want to play something familiar. And Path of Exile is if I sit down with Yakuza on, it's like I get part of the story and then I'm gone. Part of the story, then I'm gone. I don't like that. I like to just go right through it.
I'm just imagining me trying to scratch an itch on my back, reaching my fingers back, really digging them in, and then pulling my hand back and just seeing a bunch of ugly ice cream on my hand.
Are you saying you're peeling off your skin?
No, it's what I'm just made out of. I'm just like an ugly ice cream.
I want the fan art of this.
No!
And just me and Matt stood
Just
over,
everything is just ice cream.
looking disapprovingly down at the puddle of George.
Because it would be some like weird DeviantArt fetish art where like someone out there probably gets off to the thought of ice cream people.
Wow, look at the ego on you, thinking someone wants that.
I don't.
George is ice cream.
Ice
Ice cream is George.
I don't know if this is the kind of attention or fan art of myself.
But you want black ice cream, because we all know that you're racist.
I'm a chocolate fan. Yeah. Way better than vanilla. Vanilla's so boring.
Whoa. Chill out. Vanilla's fine.
Well, it's ironic because vanilla throughout like most of human history has been a very rare plant that was very expensive, and the novelty just like got on so fast that now it's boring.
Someone's been reading too much Wikipedia again.
Oh my god, I have been.
Stop being racist towards vanilla.
I mean,
Is it race or is like Plantist?
plantist.
Like the opposite of a botanist.
So they studied chemical plants and factory plants and manufacturing
Oh
plants.
man, this podcast has gone off the rails.
Let's get back on the path.
And for
of
once it was George.
exiles. I'm sorry for going down a vanilla hole.
Wow, that was a good segue though. Matt, do you have more to say about Path of Exile? Or?
No,
Pony, whatever
I
happened
played
to Pony?
I played D&D. Like D&D was fun.
Let me just mark my Matt bingo. I've got all three so far.
Oh my god.
I played Poe, and then I played a character named Poe.
Yeah, okay. And called George a racist. It's a full-on bingo.
Well, the racist is a callback, you know? That one has to be far in the corner. There's no way you could connect these two dots to that one, you know?
It's bingo. I had 9 spaces. I got lucky.
All right, yeah, but I know I did something.
Any more smelly nerd encounters?
I mean, I went to Vegas.
You did go to Vegas.
I remember went to Vegas.
I mean,
to be
but
fair,
I can't.
we're recording this podcast late because on Tuesday, Matt, you were in Vegas, which is when we usually record. It was probably a good idea considering the amount of shit that had happened in video games this week anyway. But yeah, why'd you go to Vegas?
Oh, well, every year I kind of go to Vegas with a friend.
Quote, friend.
And because he's like in the president's club of his like the place he works for. So we go and we have some fun. Just like last year. I have no games to really share. You know, everyone heard from last year. You know, they got The Walking Dead. They got, you know, Ellen. They got all this in casino form. But it's all the same junk. It's all that you just spend your money and waste it. You know,
loot boxes.
Microtransactions. Surprisingly, it's like video games. Like this is exactly like video games.
Oh, that hurts.
Like what like a phone app almost. You know, just you spend real money. I went to the club, had some fun.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Good shit, dude.
Yeah, that's
so. Did you? More importantly, though, did you win enough money to buy a PS4 again?
No, I want enough money to get food though.
Priorities.
I do play roulette. I didn't play anything last time. I was like, you know what? Let me just play something so I won't be the guy just sitting on the side like not wasting any of my money because I'm. Not that I'm smarter than that, but it's just like, no, I just don't want to bet so much money. But there's like a system that you can do with roulette to like always win a little bit of your money back. You won't get big gains, but you can get like a decent amount of gains if you play a lot of money.
Are you gonna reveal this secret?
No, absolutely
right here
not.
on the Dad and Sons podcast?
Absolutely not. It's not much of a secret. I'm pretty sure you can kind of figure it out. Everyone has like their own style, but yeah.
I have never once been to a casino.
You're not missing anything really. Just go in there with $20 and maybe like just mess around.
Well, for
Play some
one, it's impossible
blackjack.
in Japan because it's illegal here.
Oh, that's weird that it's illegal when you
I
have.
know.
Oh yeah, you can just go
Fucking
to the pachinko
pachinko.
parlor.
Yeah.
That's the loophole.
Japan's weird, dudes. I don't know if you
Japan's
realized
weird.
already.
Yeah.
It's quite hypocritical.
That's Vegas. That's Vegas.
So
For anyone
how
who
much-
goes to Vegas, don't play in the main hotels. I said this last time. Do not play in the main hotels. They will steal your money. Okay, that's not. For some reason, they have some type of system that they make sure you leave with less money. Go to Fremont. Fremont. Those places in Fremont, I don't think it's a street or that's just what the place is called. You know, where they have the zip lines and everything, where they
And
have
the
like
big
the street
archway.
performers and all that. You know, it's a better place to hang out, and they have better machines.
I remember that level in Rainbow Six Vegas.
Right.
George's only link to a casino.
Well, you finally mentioned Siege again. It's about time. Wow, it's been a while.
Speaking of casinos, I've
it's
been
Metal
opening up
Gear.
alpha packs and yeah, video games, gambling. It's weird. So every year around this time, you go to Vegas. Every year around this time, I play Bloodborne. It's the spooky month. On around the spooky day, I like to play the spooky game, and it's still good. The PS4 is still the Bloodborne machine.
Oh no.
And there's a couple things I notice every time I replay this game. Is that it's perfect except for two features: the Chalice dungeons and the farming for blood vials. I don't think I've been able to elegantly go through a run of Bloodborne after a few months of downtime without running out of blood vials and having to farm them on the Great Bridge on the way to Father Gascoigne every single freaking time. And
Wait, you mean blood echoes, right?
No, vials, the healing items.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah,
As in,
yeah.
like, getting the number higher? Like, getting a bigger capacity?
However, the game nowadays plays way smoother and loads way faster. It's like a solid 30 FPS lock. No more. Very, very occasionally, no less. And I remember when it came out, it was the hottest joke on the internet to blast the PS4 for how it couldn't handle this thing, and now it's
Still
fine.
got good reviews though.
Not even because it's a damn good game.
Yeah, this is a case when, like, it doesn't matter what it looks like. It's like the Blighttown situation all over again. You deal with some shit because the rest of the game is, like, for the most part, pretty much a masterpiece. Bloodborne's my favorite out of all the Souls games. It's fucking great.
I wish that so much more of the dialogue we have over video games didn't reduce down to the graphics, though. Like, I don't know. Did you guys play Fallout 76, the beta they had over the past week?
No.
God, no. I wouldn't let that thing
heard-
on my computer.
Right. I heard it was a mess, and I was watching some video
Sponsored.
coverage of it, and the guys just... So many commentators out there, like, get hung up on calling things PS2 graphics, or, like...
Yeah, see, that's
zooming
weak,
in
right?
on a
Like,
splash particle
if you're gonna-
effect in a river no player
Yeah.
is ever gonna bother seeing.
if you're going
And
to
that's
complain
not the
about massive
point.
Bethesda games, graphics is not what you can complain about. And the bug thing is hilarious. Like, bugs are part of games. It's unavoidable. Bethesda just run on engines that are way too old, but it's unavoidable. They still make great games out of those engines. But with Fallout 76, it's like, I almost think this is probably going to be Bethesda's worst reviewed game.
Yeah, it really like looks like from the coverage I have seen, the impressions, they are phoning this in.
Yeah, because it feels like they've taken the task of creating an online game that's not an MMO, of course, and making this Fallout thing, and they've just like ripped out all the parts that made Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 and Fallout New Vegas like fun, which is like exploring the world and meeting characters and interacting like traditional RPGs. Now you just have the world and the combat. And let's be honest, Fallout combat, Not exactly Bloodborne.
Balls. It's balls.
Not exactly a good shooter.
Even if Bloodborne
It's not the exciting part of the experience.
Has a terrible frame rate and really long loading times and silly glitches. Like, if that underlying combat is still good, then review scores are still going to focus on that. Like,
but they've never been particularly great in Fallout games. The Bethesda Fallout games, anyway.
I'm really not looking forward to the review scores on 76 when it launches, and I doubt Bethesda is either.
They definitely have been open, which is weird for Bethesda because Bethesda don't comment on, or they very rarely have commented on the whole meme about Bethesda's games being buggy. Everyone knows it. Everyone's okay with it. But Bethesda have never really openly addressed that they know that their games are buggy and that everyone laughs about them. They've never said anything. They just make the games, they ignore the comments, and they do it. But what's really weird about Fallout 76, which tells its own story, is that Bethesda have been extremely open about how buggy this game is, even writing an open letter to all players of the beta that they will experience bugs and that if you find them, please report them and stuff like that, which is unpaid QA, which is also a pretty legal gray area because you should be not doing that.
They get their unpaid interns to do QA?
No. It's just that they're asking the players of the beta, which is what a beta's for.
Oh, that's what you mean, yeah.
You're ultimately asking people to do free QA work if your game is not up to scratch. Even if it's a beta, it's still a game for people to play and to enjoy. It's for people almost as a demo to see if they want to buy the full experience, not to like help you make it. But the problem is they've been super open with how buggy it is. And I guess when you have a bug with the installer or the uninstaller that deletes the 50 gigabyte data file if you make a mistake. That's one of the biggest bugs.
The cute game. We got the spooky game, a buggy game, and a cute game this week.
No, I'm not talking about that bug, although that bug is also pretty bad. But no, Bethesda also have a bug that deletes the 50 gigabyte file.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
So it has uninstaller issues, just like the little free Toby Fox passion project.
Yeah, but that's different though. The Toby Fox thing is a Game Maker Engine directory fault that uninstalls stuff that's in the same folder as Deltarune.
Okay, no, I'm walking away. I didn't play it. God damn it. All right, I'm walking away.
That's
Undertale
different.
Or Deltarune?
Deltarune.
Because I haven't played it. Well, I just played a bit of it, but I'm not all the way through yet.
No, but like in terms of the two bugs, one is significantly a problem, but is quite manageable. Whereas the other one is like a bug that completely deletes the whole game, and it's unavoidable if you do certain things. Like the Deltarune thing is pretty bad, right? But as long as it's in its own directory, it's fine. But if you put it in like more of a public directory where it's like it's got other files of yours or other games, then yeah, that's pretty bad. But like the Bethesda thing is like the game just deletes its whole self. It's just like, nope, we're just gonna delete my whole self.
Bethesda have extended Fallout 76 pre-order beta to blah 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 blah. Do not click any buttons on the client for the time being, Bethesda tweeted last night following the start of the PC beta, when many players reported finding a whopping great download grinding into life again, which defeated the whole point of preloading the beta. Some players have reported that just opening the client without clicking any buttons was enough to wipe the game out for them. Bethesda are using their own client. This is folding back to that earlier news story of how this is also their first big non-Steam release. Wow. So this also like kind of folds back into that earlier discussion. Like Bethesda games are janky and buggy as hell, but that's typically been regarded as a side effect of their scope and their ambition. Like getting a 90-person team to make big open world games like that has resulted in NPCs looking silly and standing around in one spot and item duplication glitches as far back as Morrowind. but they were also
Yeah, but like opening
very,
the client and then it just deleting itself is just like, well,
you'd open the client and play the game and have like a unique and also intimately personal experience, despite the massive scope of them, and because of there being a good core loop of exploration, loot discovery, and world building and immersion. People didn't mind, and they scored very well and sold extremely freaking well, and became a part of everyone's pop culture lexicon, because I don't think that in the real world, when it comes down to brass tacks and selling games, gameplay matters more than glitches.
yeah, that's
and
true.
frame rates
But
and refreshes and graphics.
no, that's entirely true, and I 100% agree with you as someone who grew up playing Nintendo games, not giving a fuck about what they look like compared to other AAA games. More importantly, is just that this is a bug that when you open the client, it deletes itself. Like, you can't even play the game. No matter how bad the game looks or how bad it runs, like, you can't even play the game.
And when you do, it reads like this confused, wishy-washy, non-committal amalgamation of what was a little bit cool about Fallout, plus a whole bunch of stuff no one... that's not true. I was about to say no one ever wanted. I've seen people want a multiplayer Fallout for a good decade. The Russians hacked it back in the day. There was
don't get me wrong. There is like an amazing game somewhere in Fallout 76 where you play with friends, exploring a wasteland together in power armor. That'd be great.
I don't know if I'd feel comfortable saying that without hands-on experience with it, and I have zero interest in it, even as a hardcore Fallout fan. It's like, it doesn't look like it's for me.
No, I don't, and I don't think it is for many people unless you play a lot of online games with regular people, because from what I've read so far is that this is just a super lonely game.
Yeah.
You very rarely stumble across people. There's only 16 people on a server on a giant map.
But there's no NPCs, just radio messages.
Yep.
And that
just
would
monsters.
News of that is what killed my interest. Like, that's them axing away the world building, which even in the Bethesda Fallouts is still like the primary motivating factor to the loop.
I'd be intrigued by any dad or son out there who has played the beta, what they thought. Tell us.
Like, I would... You know, on one hand, I feel really guilty a lot for taking this long for projects these days, but at the same time, I would be miserable if I would have had to play as an obligation for a job, like 20 hours of this beta and then just write my negative Oh, that would... I mean, that would...
George,
that's what people
do. There are worse
jobs in the world.
Oh my God, I'm playing a game. Poor me.
Do you guys not remember what it was like in like late 2017 when I did the Breath of the Wild review and the Far Cry Primal review and the crew review? Well, that was from a few years earlier. This shit wears me down. It makes me depressed. It causes like stress and anxiety. My girlfriend can notice it. It ruins my relationships. Really long, mediocre video games are the absolute worst to cover.
Then just like...
play Deltarune.
No, well, you could do that. But you could also just be like in the video, this game is not worth me finishing. And here's the reason why. And then
No. People will chew you out. They will poop in your face.
But is that not
so? That? You finish a game before you review it. You do not.
No.
Review a game.
You're misunderstanding me. You're misunderstanding me. That's not what I mean. If you're reviewing a game for a publication that reviews games as their output for their content, a review, no, you absolutely must finish the game. What I'm talking about is if you're making a YouTube video of an opinion about a video game, and that your opinion is that this game is not worth finishing because it's a long, drawn-out experience, you definitely should go the way of, zero punctuation or Yahtzee and be like, I didn't even finish this game. And here are the reasons why.
And I
That
just
is not a
remembered
review. That is a YouTube opinion. It is completely different.
the other big, like, third and fourth quarter 2016 game that absolutely positively wore me out was Watch Dogs 2. For some reason, I thought it was The Crew, because they are just so... They're all the same game to me at this point, too.
Well, there are Ubisoft games that have cars in them.
And Zelda games that have horses. If you literally, like, commit to it as a job, it will turn all these games into the same mush. Which is why I have no interest in RDR2. The big thing this week, the sales topping charts, the controversial.
Can we talk about that? Can we?
Yes, because you have actually been playing it. You might have more of a tolerance for this shit than I do at this point.
I obviously don't, because I don't finish that many games. But let me talk about Cowboys.
Oh my god. You're triggering me, Liam. Finish.
Let's talk about Cowboys.
Is it good?
Is it the rootinest, tootinest, most seamless? Are you either in the coma or not
Is
a
it
true
game
gamer?
of the year? Are the YouTube comments true?
It absolutely is not game of the year.
Oh damn!
Oh, no.
And let me because I have to really watch what I say, because I have to
It
think about
sucks.
this, because
It's terrible.
No.
It's, 1 out of 10. Damn, Liam.
Shut up.
It's good,
Shut
but
up.
not great. It's only okay.
I'm literally looking up the exact thing I said to a friend on Messenger about the game, because okay, so
Are you gonna give it only a 9 out of 10?
okay, so first off,
Put on trial in The Hague for
9.8.
giving it a perfect.
off the bat, I'm enjoying it.
Go
Okay,
on.
I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it. It is very much a put on for 1 hour, 2 hours before bed and go to bed. But it's an enjoyable 2 hours, right? The problem with this game, and I don't know whether it's necessarily a
immersive.
problem, what makes this game so different, I think, it's so slow.
Yep, I'm out. That is enough to turn me off of it forever.
It's so slow. I can't describe how it's slow without...
Red Dead was slow though,
No, but it's not even
If
that,
this is-
because
and that's
Red
why I
Dead
couldn't
was like
finish it.
No,
I couldn't even play it because it was so slow.
No, don't even, like, Red Dead moves it. It's not even like pace of story. I'm not talking about pace of story. I'm talking about just general pace.
Animations.
Are slow. Everything in this game is slow. Like, and let me explain, because what happens is in Red Dead Redemption 1, or not Revolver, but Red Dead Redemption RDR1, you're not distracted by too many things. Okay, you can play fucking blackjack, you can go hunting or whatever, right? But there is very much a go do this mission. It's an action-packed GTA style cowboy mission. And it's, that was what RDR was.
Really good soundtrack.
And and don't get me wrong, RDR2's soundtrack is, apart from the Jose Gonzalez Far Away Mexico part, it's probably better, actually. It's really good.
Art direction.
Yeah, really, really good. But RDR2, so it starts the game off with a very purposely, 3-hour tutorial section in a snowy mountain where you can't really do anything, and it basically outlines all of the game's systems, from the general missions where you're shooting things and stuff, traditional, to hunting, to looking after people, to doing submissions, to customizing your character, to looking after your horse, to using your lasso, to robbing trains. It does everything one after another on top of this mountain in the snow. The story part is that you can't leave because you'll all die out in the snow and all this kind of thing. So it starts off on top of a snowy mountain at the slowest pace possible. And it goes on for quite a while, about 3 hours or so. And it's quite lengthy. And I'm like, okay, this is fine.
Yeah,
it's a game.
AC Odyssey did the same thing and no one complained.
George, just shut up. Shut up a sec. Just calm down. And It's okay because this game is like a huge 60-hour experience. It's got hundreds of systems, right? So it's trying to teach you all these things. It's trying to make it so you understand everything. You don't miss anything. I get it. Like, it's an unavoidable part of game design. And the way Rockstar hide it in the Snowy Mountain, like, story and the way they build up intrigue about what's happened to you because it's off the back of, like, a failed, like, a boat robbery or something, like, to do with money on a boat. And it's all pretty intriguing. And you're like, okay, this is cool. It's fine. It's very slow, but we'll get on with it. And then as soon as you get down the mountain, you get a camp. And then the camp has, like, 20 people in it. All of them want you to do different things. All of them need different things. The camp needs you to give it money. And then you need to upgrade the camp. But then you need to upgrade every tent in the camp individually. So there's like another 100 systems that the game's not explained to you. That you need to slowly plod through and look through. And you walk between each tent at Arthur's, the main character's, 4 pace per second speed. He's so fucking slow. It's unreal. But then you get, like, unleashed upon the world. And there's just so many things that you just get distracted all the time.
Does it feel like an accomplishment?
No! Like, it does and it doesn't.
That word around a lot.
Like, this is the thing. I've spent most of my, like, 12 to 15 hours of this game so far getting my hair cut, customizing my gun, braiding my horse's tail, and robbing people out in the, like, the prairie.
In the Wild West.
Out in the wild. I've done nothing! Like, nothing in this game. I've done nothing. It's so distracting.
According to Softpedia, it does almost everything perfect. The level of polishing and the amount of content makes it the beauty and the beast at the same time.
No, because the level of polish is like unlike anything else.
Oh yeah, they say that much.
No, this game is probably the most polished game I've ever seen. Like, the systems that work in this game are beyond the level I can even comprehend. Like, there is so much going on. There's so many interactions at play. It is creepy.
Oh, there's the achievement word, Giant Bomb. It is an incredible achievement in open-world gaming, an intricate machine that disguises its machinery better than just about everything else that's come before.
I mean, they're not wrong, though. But they are not wrong. It is an intricate machine that disguises that very well. But it's also a super slow and finicky machine that has way too many things going on for its own good that grinds down the pace completely by not really giving the player any clear direction whatsoever and just overwhelming them with so many things to do that this game is less of a action-adventure game than it is like a full-on just cowboy simulator. It's a Westworld, you are a cowboy tourist living a cowboy life where there is no repercussions for you as a real person. You are just a full-on cowboy tourist.
This sounds pretty decent. I don't know.
No, but that's the thing is, it is fun. And it is fun to do these things, right? Apart from the fact that everything goes really ham-handedly because there are way too many controls. Like, you have to press R2 to, like, interact with someone, and then you have all the face buttons either correspond to, do you want to say hello? Do you want to say howdy? Do you want to say an antagonizing joke? Or do you want to rob them? And then if you rob them, you can press the D-pad up to point your gun in the air. And if you forget to do that, you'll accidentally shoot them in the face, and then you'll get a bounty. Then you have to pay your bounty off, and you don't have any money in this game because coming by money is really hard. So then you have to grind for money by playing poker. And there's just so many things going on, and it's all so finicky that it's super slow. And while it's all really enjoyable, it's like, I have no idea how anyone finishes this game and feels satisfied.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is a masterpiece that every player should play. It simply evolves the open world genre with a host of new ideas.
I will admit, everything you've quoted is correct. Like, it is an intricate machine that disguises a lot of that really well. And also,
an accomplishment.
it has
An achievement.
so many
That's the word,
ideas.
achievement.
Yeah, it is, because it has so many ideas beyond just being a game. Like, for as largely as people joked about it before, this like whole cinematic thing that it's going for is weirdly addictive. So because it doesn't have a very good fast travel system, and it takes ages to unlock this fast travel system, and the map is huge, and your horse moves at such a slow pace, you spend a lot of time just traversing the map, which means you get kind of addicted to changing the camera to cinematic experience, which then makes it look like a cowboy western, and it auto rides your horse so you don't have to control your horse, and you're just like watching this like cowboy TV show with two characters talking about general stuff. And it is like every mission has like these cinematic elements to them aside from normal gameplay. That it's like watching a weird cowboy YouTube series that someone's put together. Like every mission is like a 10-minute YouTube episode of this weird cowboy series. Yeah, it's really hard to explain. Every mission has like its beginning, start, its middle structure, and then its end, and it all happens in like 10 to 15 minutes.
They're like episodes?
It's almost like episodes, because it's really disjointed, because the overarching story is stretched out across.
That's always been the problem with open world games, is that the stories get stretched out too far. They don't feel like they have a cohesive direction that fits with the pacing. And that's what I liked about The Witcher, was that the side quests felt like contained episodes. The main quest was still a stretched out mess, though.
But it's not even that, because this game doesn't tell you what's a main mission and what's not. Everything is like a character mission. You just go to a character, and then you know who the main characters are. So you know if you go to them, if you go to Dutch or you go to Hosea, you know like their missions are going to be progressing the chapter, because the game is split up into chapters. But it's so hard to define the seriousness of each mission. Like some submissions that you think are submissions like go on for like a good 20 to half an hour, and you're doing like multiple things.
Actually, that sounds like a good idea.
But then you'll do like a Dutch mission where you think you're progressing the story, and then you all you have to do is take a dude to a bar and get drunk. By the way, that mission where you take Lenny to the bar, for anyone who's playing RDR right now, is the best fucking mission. It's the most realistic simulation of being drunk I've ever seen. It's amazing. But it's just like watching loads of weird cowboy YouTube videos. And that's why it's so slow, because you don't ever feel like you're accomplishing anything. You're just taking bite-sized parts of cowboy content. But I can tell you what, it's definitely more cinematic than anything David Cage would ever dream up of. I like that guy must be like, that guy must be like just like shitting himself, because this is truly like the biggest leap to like cinematic gaming. I don't want to say that because like everyone thinks of like Kojima.
That was a review quote.
Like everyone thinks of Kojima and everyone thinks of David Cage when they think about this, but those guys are like trying to tell a story. This game isn't trying to tell too much of a story. It doesn't really care about its own story. It cares about like just giving you these cool moments in a cinematic way. And then it allows you to create cinematic moments because it gives you like the tools, like the filmography skills to do it. Like if you like, search on Twitter, like hashtag like RDR cinematic mode or something, you'll find like amazing videos of people doing crazy shit in cinematic mode that looks amazing because it's hilariously framed in a very serious Western cowboy aesthetic in a very like cinema-esque way, but it's hilarious game, engine stuff where like people crash horses into each other and shit like that. So I honestly don't really know what to think about RDR. Like, I'm really enjoying it, but not for the reasons that I would usually a video game.
All right, I'll wait.
It's one of those where I don't know if I'll ever finish it because I'm spending far too much time just doing all the intricate stuff. Like, I'll go do a bounty, get $25, get a haircut, play some poker, change my gun color, go to my
horse. I feel like
horse.
that's not the game's fault, though. I feel like that's your fault.
No. Because the game is so distracting with the way it lays everything out. Because it's telling you to do all these things in submissions that then opens them all up to you. But then there'll be missions where, you know, you'll do something and it's just maybe like ride to here, kill these guys, and do this. And then you're kind of like, well, you know, I could go do bounties. I could do some more fun stuff. It's like this weird balance of all the intricate, small, tiny machinery that's going on can be more interesting and more distracting than the actual main game. And because it's hard to decipher what the actual main game is, you're just bogged down in super slow-paced gameplay where you're just like trotting along on a horse across giant maps, hunting rabbits.
With a 3-hour tutorial island.
Yeah. I mean, the tutorial is interesting enough, though, but yeah. It carries that ideology carries on into the whole game. It's like, we have so many things for you to do and so many things that you can experiment with that, and because we don't clearly tell you what the main story is, you're going to just be like stuck in cowboy purgatory forever.
So, Matt, you remember Fallout 2, right?
Of course. How could I forget?
The main story like gave you little clues rather than missions with explicit goals.
Right.
And once you showed up at the site of the clue, you'd have to like go around and investigate yourself. And it felt like you were internalizing your own unique main story, following a trail of breadcrumbs the game gave you rather than explicit instructions and dialogue. Yeah. And I feel like that's a little bit of this ethos with you not knowing which quests are main quests and which aren't. I feel like that might be kind of I'm going to say that sounds immersive. That sounds like the player getting in the mindset of the character and doing what they think is interesting rather than what the game is kind of breaking the fourth wall to tell you to do, which can create a lot of really great player-driven stories.
Yeah,
that
this is
unique to video games as a medium.
I can't tell if RDR is a good example of... Oh, why am I forgetting the word now? Like gameplay that is player driven.
Oh god, I know that word. Oh, yeah. People toss it. Emergent
gameplay. Yeah. I can't tell if it's a good example of that because everything is running on a script. Like the way NPCs respond to you is like 1,000 different scripts going off at the same time in different responses. So I don't know whether it's emergent, but it definitely is like unexpected. Like, there's hidden missions in the game that only appear if you speak to random people of your own accord. So they are purposely hidden in the game for you to potentially stumble across them. That isn't quite emergent gameplay, but it's unexpected gameplay. And that's almost as good. Because you'll just talk to a guy, you'll be like, howdy. And he'll be like, please, sir, help me. Bandits stole my wife. And you'll be like, okay, fuck this. I didn't expect to be doing this today. Well, now we go. Dun, 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 and, you know, shoot all the guys and save this guy's wife. It's like, that stuff, if you just walked past that guy and didn't interact with him, you would have never have done that mission. So, although it's not, you know, emergent player-driven stuff, it is like unexpected gameplay. And that is kind of what's super cool about this game.
Yeah. I mean, it still sounds like something where I'd have to turn the lights off, clear my weekend schedule out, set my phone on silent,
light a couple candles,
wrap up, air freshener, hit the gym downstairs, and finish up all my big projects beforehand. And I just don't know if or when I can do that again in the near future. You
don't want to spend 100 hours in a span of 3 days and then write a script minimum within 1 day and then film a video with another day and write a script and then edit the video on that last day to try to get that video out within that week? You don't want to do that?
No, just no.
Yeah, I don't think this game is.
Period.
Even if you were
I get
determined to do
flashbacks.
that. Even if you were determined to be that crazy and do that, this game is like not good. Like long stretches of this game get really boring because you are spending a lot of time just traveling around doing stuff.
Well, I hope you're not playing too long and starving. Because don't starve.
I've been playing Don't Starve. I mean, I've been doing it for, I want to say, on and off for 2.5 weeks now. And it reminds me
By the way,
lot.
RDR is so intricate that you have to eat so you don't lose weight. That's the kind of game we're talking about. Anyway, go ahead.
Is it like a hunger meter? Like you have to eat?
There's a hunger meter, there's a weight meter, there's a beard length meter, there's a hair length meter, there is how warm and how cold you are depending on the temperature, depending on the clothes you're wearing, how hungry your horse is. There's a lot of
You have to feed the horse?
Yeah, you have to feed your horse, otherwise he runs out of stamina. You have to also pat, and you have to calm your horse down if it's scared.
You have to love the horse?
You have to love the horse. And the thing is, the horses have permadeath as well. So if you spend fucking 10 hours loving a horse named Ted, like I did, which is a Father Ted reference to My Lovely Horse, for anyone who's watched Father Ted. If you spend 10 hours bonding and getting like a level 4 bond with this horse that you've spent fucking ages like customizing and spending a lot of money on, for him to then die in a gunfight is really upsetting.
Liam has been talking about this for 20 minutes.
And I'm still faster.
I know.
And I'm still faster than this game.
You didn't even get to the horse loving mechanics, and I did not.
There's so many systems
of there being horse loving mechanics.
Liam needs his own review podcast where he just sits there and he just talks
about loving horses in video games.
I could do pre-recorded like voices, and I'd be like, "Yeah, that sounds good, Liam. Yeah, yeah."
That would still be more than what you say now, anyway.
Okay. Ooh.
I mean, ooh. I mean, everyone already knows that I edit this to make us all sound smarter and wittier and funnier than we actually are.
Man, you have not been doing a good job then.
Wait, what do you mean?
The one day we have a live podcast is the day that, all our fans just like, no, I don't think I like
this is how those guys really are?
Are there pauses longer than 4 seconds between... Anyways, I've been playing Don't Starve. It's a survival open world procedural kind of thing, but I'm interested in it because of a discussion that we had a couple weeks ago regarding procedural generation stuff and whether or not it can be fun, because this game has very, very fast-paced, I almost want to say like an arcadey spin on the concept. Your hunger meter, it just drips all the freaking time. And the stress of constantly having to manage it is part of the compelling loop of trying to overcome challenges, getting a little bit more every time, and starting over again in the span of like 10 to 20 minute sessions. And it feels like an arcadey game in that way. And I'm still not done with it, and I have reached that point. Well, I'm still compelled to keep going, and I'm not done with it, even though I have reached the point where I'm starting to see the same stuff over and over again as it seeds new levels, but it seeds them in a way that is well paced. You're constantly on the move. You're constantly having to adjust to a new goal that the randomness of the environment like really changes your playstyle for. And maybe that's the trick, is like getting procedural generation to create diverse gameplay scenarios that utilize the procedural generation to mix things up, quite literally, every single time you go in. And I guess if a game is procedurally generated and they're not fooling anyone, and it gets real boring seeing the same stuff over and over again, they haven't thrown enough mixes in the algorithm that play off each other well enough to create a more compelling loop. Like I guess the classic example is Sundered, that game was terrible, and I had to play like 30 hours of it in a week and do a review in 2 days, and everyone completely forgot about that game, and it fell off the face of the earth, and don't want to say it was a waste of time, because I still made money anyway, but God, it kind of feels like a waste of time doing shit like that these days.
Cut that out. Cut that out.
Just the same repetitions and the same software for 5 years covering the same topics. But, yeah, I am seeing my tastes for the repetition of farming games turn around. I think I just got a bad intro to them. And this is one of the good ones. I should have played this before, I don't know, Slime Rancher, which was another, like, 2 days of doing nothing, eating no food, seeing no other humans, not leaving the room, just playing that game that I didn't like very much, writing my thoughts. They were just like negative, whiny, pessimistic pieces of shit, and then
Something's
putting them
happening.
out.
Somebody. Liam, start talking about Red Dead Redemption again.
I would talk about Deltarune, but I feel like I'd set George off just the same.
Also, Matt, you don't want to get spoiled by Deltarune, right?
Yeah, I played the beginning, like right after he gets out the room.
It's so
pretty
cute.
Mint. It
Also,
is.
I played
and
like
he,
2
like
hours.
Toby always. He's like a mood, isn't he? He's like a vibe.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he always knows how to just mess you up in the beginning. It's like the best emo games
warnings.
Ever.
Best emo games.
It is pretty emo, yeah.
Who, like,
You gotta
is
be
friends
ready
with
when you
everyone,
play.
even though he doesn't talk to anyone. He's
Yeah.
that guy.
You
That's
got to put
true.
some like black eyeliner on, you know, some black clothes
but
before you
crack bright
sit down to
jokes.
play Undertale or Deltarune. You just gotta, you gotta be
He
ready.
He likes portraying the look of a tortured soul, but the humor of a social butterfly.
Yeah.
So what did you think? What did you think?
I am still waiting on a final verdict. On the other hand, though, I already love the concept and the execution and how much of that Toby Fox meta self-awareness was going on. Apparently, the game changes depending on what your Undertale save is stored as.
Not really.
Okay. Should I
checks-
leave?
it-
I should leave.
Yeah,
It,
maybe
no.
we should just stop here.
It checks your Undertale save.
Mm-hmm.
It checks for a few things, but it doesn't actually change whatever happens in Deltarune.
Also,
Doesn't change. Also, Toby released a Q&A today about Deltarune that he'd pre-written based on questions he thought people would get asked about Deltarune after it got released. And one of them was, will Deltarune have multiple endings? And he said, no. So, not really sure how much your choices in Deltarune will affect what happens in it anyway. And also more
my God,
intriguingly,
there's so many alsos with this one.
the most intriguing one about this, and what I kind of love, is that this is all there is of Deltarune.
We don't know if it's a demo or not. We don't know.
No. This is it. This is it. This is it. He's not made anything else.
Well, he
apart
called
from
it
some
Chapter
music.
1 and did call it a demo, but
Yeah. But like, as in like pre-production for Chapter 2, 3, like all of that. He hasn't got anything. Like, he's written the story and the
Burnout?
music, but all the programming, all the art, everything for like anything beyond Chapter 1 doesn't exist right now. Which is incredible. Because it would take years. So like, whatever people are getting of Deltarune now, like, they better like be okay with it lasting them a while. Because you're not going to see anything for ages. If you ever see anything else.
What's the point of this? What's the point of him releasing? Do you see that in there? Is it answering some type of question, or he made this for fun? Because I assumed when I saw it, I was like, oh, he's just making this little game, and then he's gonna make a totally different project after this, not just a spin-off.
Without like spoiling anything, depending on how deep you are into the Undertale lore, this
I've
is like
played it twice.
this is like a thing that, like, if you know all about like Gaster and Chara and Azrael and Frisk and all that kind of stuff, like this will then tickle you in ways that is really nice because it is more on top of that for you to think about. But nothing is explained. Everyone has super weird fan theories about it. But then Toby's come out saying stuff like this is a entirely separate thing. That, like, whatever happened in your Undertale save is like how they are now. So like if everyone died, everyone's still dead. If everyone survived and everyone lives happily above the surface, they're still happy.
I'm on a new computer, so I guess, well.
Which is weird because I also transitioned computers as well. But yeah, there's some very distinctly Toby Foxy Undertale-y weirdness about what universe this takes place in. How are these Undertale characters showing up in what is a very completely different situation?
There's so
the Q&A
many fan
just
theories.
like giggled at the thought of that. It seems I kind of dig the idea of spin-off sequels like this that throw like a lot of the same characters, same mechanics into just new stories, like MGS3, going from MGS2 to MGS3. And I guess that's my MGS quota mention for the day. I'm all for it.
I just want to say, like, before we move on, the level of trust we all have in Toby to install a virus on our computer is ridiculous. The internet just installs a virus. Can you imagine if he just like said, I want to end everything, and he just millions of people
it's so weird.
And everyone would be like, "Oh, you cute Toby."
It's so weird because he must have done it on purpose.
Because Deltarune.exe deletes System 32, there will be a surprisingly small amount of protests, I bet.
Like, but he did it in tandem with like the Japanese localization of it, which is done by the awesome like guys 8-4 in Tokyo. Like, he did it in tandem with them, and they're like a professional studio. I mean, I say that it's a ragtag bunch of lovely people in a tiny office
work on very big brands.
Like, they will have been working on this for ages. Like, that Window Defender problem, like, is definitely Toby, like, doing something on purpose.
I'm assuming it was to check your Undertale save.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm assuming that's
like,
what it is.
This is making modifications on your PC. You're like, I see what you're doing, Toby. Toby's like, now I've got all your data. Like, this game's for free, but now you paid me back way more than you ever thought.
Free. You think, but it actually data. It costs you your credit card.
Yeah.
He's just selling all everyone's data who downloaded Deltarune to like Facebook right now.
All you Undertale Homestuck gamers. Toriel's in trouble and needs your mom's credit card.
Explain to me again why you didn't go as Wario for Halloween.
I stayed home and watched Halloween 3, and it was a great movie. Watch Halloween 3, kids.
I rewatched Halloween 1. That was pretty cool.
I heard, but the girlfriend thought it would be too spooky, so she wanted to watch the stupid one.
Spooky skeletons.
This movie involves lasers and magical mind-controlling hats that turn people into bugs, and there's a robot. I was very surprised at the places this thing... It's like a David Cage game in movie form. It's like Halloween 3 might be the closest what we have to an Indigo Prophecy Fahrenheit movie adaptation, because you can very clearly see a defining moment in the movie where the dog ate the rest of the script and they just had to make the rest of it up on the fly. Either that or whoever wrote it was a real lazy piece of shit who just phoned it all in. I don't know if we were looking for screenplay credits or script writing credits on the credits roll and didn't find any. We just found a credit for script supervisor.
Supervising.
He's
actually a babysitter, and he was supervising the babies who wrote the story.
That's actually what it sounds like. It sounds like a episode of Axe Cop. The movie follows a doctor who more or less takes on a detective role, trying to solve some crazy murder mystery in a small town, right? Familiar setup, but he gradually finds robots and magic and a Stonehenge rune that powers a subspace bending generator that creates robot golem guards for a immortal Highlander factory foreman who wants to make masks that you get. It's like trying to solve a spooky murder mystery in the big city of New York, but you gradually find out that it was actually an undead Aztec wizard fighting a space war against an AI that can turn into a plasma person who has a Dragon Ball fight with you after you have zombie sex with the cop trying to solve your murder.
Wow.
David Cage's Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Let's fund it. Let's... Can we pitch that on Dad Din? Can we actually have David Cage on the show as a guest?
Oh my God!
And tear
yes.
apart a Dad Din submission by the man himself?
Oh, that would be incredible.
We should send him a tweet.
Okay.
We should send him the David episode and see how.
David.
Yo, that would be cool. Like, we have to ask him the rough questions though. We have to like say like, yo, we're gonna ask you some questions. You gotta be ready.
Yo,
know?
David, what's up with your games, man? Why are they so shit?
No. Be like, yo, man. Yo, you kind of nasty with all that stuff, man. And
yeah, I feel like David Cage might not be in a position to do interviews right now. He's got to finish that lawsuit of him suing the journalists who reported on how they photoshopped their employees into Nazi uniforms holding dildos and stuck it on the wall for everyone to see.
Yo, man, is that Nazi stuff true, man? Well, how does he sound? How does he?
It was part of my storytelling process.
Storytelling process gets a big laugh from that. That's all it takes. All right. Well, I'm gonna try to pull some strings, hook up with my connections.
Let's get the creative juices flowing.
Let's just take a quick break to.
We're just gonna head back into our own story process.
Send some emails. Get some cold calls going out. And we'll see what we can do.
What is going on today?
Today has been a weird podcast. I apologize.
RPG Super Mario RPG ロールプレイングゲームやったことない人も OK マリオと旅に出ようドラマを作ろうロールプレイングゲームやり尽くした人も Come on 満足させますマリオですOh yeah スーパーファミコンソフトスーパーマリオ RPG スーパーファミコンが4000円安くなるクーポン券付き
Hello and welcome back from the break. Today we're gonna put some news in your ear holes. Take us in, George.
I just don't want to like be weird about it. You know, speaking of being weird about things,
oh my God.
there was a Nintendo Direct. They saved the big reveal for the end. Everyone was getting their hopes up for who the Smash DLC characters would be. I know there was a lot of push for George Weidman skulking into the battle. I know that there was a lot of fan expectations that Liam and Matt would show up as well, but I'm pretty sure if you polled players, they would have expected things like I don't know whoever the main character from Virtua Fighter is that we've seen Photoshop screenshots of. Rayman has been speculated. No, it's not. It's a piranha plant.
Heck yeah.
Day one, purchasing that now. Season pass. Give me all the loot boxes.
You don't even need to buy him. He's free.
Really? Oh, yeah, he's
Yeah.
a pre-order bonus, so you have to pre-order the game. That's not free.
No, you just have to register your purchase before January of next year.
Oh, so
And
you
you
have to
get-
buy
and then
it
you get
before
it.
January while the game's still going to be real expensive. But, I mean, who are we kidding? I'm probably going to buy it.
Nintendo games don't go down in price anyway.
They don't. And Smash
irrelevant.
games are damn good bets. That they're.
And this
I don't think there's
game
really been
looks-
a bad one.
No, and this game looks like it has more content than there are human beings alive.
There's some people who don't like Brawl, but
I
I'm
like
pretty sure
Brawl.
everyone on planet Earth is okay, at least with the others.
Yeah.
I like Brawl.
Smash 4 was like a real obsession for me for a while. As
Me
Matt can
too.
attest at SGC and MagFests, I can't wait to break this thing out during the new cons. Like, yeah.
Oh my god, George, I just realized.
I'm going to Japan in a little while, and I can bring it with me.
It will be out by the time you get here. Oh shit, I know what we're going to be streaming.
Oh, I'm jealous.
So,
Stop going
Now
to
I'm
Vegas
bummed.
and spending all your money then.
Whoa.
he didn't spend all his... He made sure he had enough to eat food.
My God. I didn't spend any money. Actually, the tickets are free. What are you talking about?
So you lost more money than free.
Everyone is super hyped for the latest Smash entry of Piranha Plant. Everyone.
But
There's
the plant
no
looks
argument.
good. The plant looks good. He's got tiny little feet.
And they obviously had a lot of fun making the moveset, which is the whole point.
Obviously, people are going to laugh. I've already talked enough about RDR. I'm not going to go on about Smash. Matt, don't worry.
Yeah,
Right.
no, I think this is cheeky and cute and fine. I mean, you were like expressing some real sorrow at Sakurai's situation, though, Liam.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because we've talked a lot about, as a industry, the gaming stories that have surrounded Rockstar and that horror. I don't even know how Sakurai's still alive, to be fair. That poor fucker is so tired
It's
that
Japan.
he has to even mention it in the direct himself.
Oh, that actually happened in the direct? He was like, guys, I'm real tired.
Oh, yeah, you guys didn't... you guys didn't
I
see it? Sakurai openly just says, maybe I can take a break now. And he like closes his eyes, sighs a little bit,
Oh, no.
and then it goes to the next thing that they talk about. That happens in the direct.
That's like that. Does he know that there's a big controversy going on right now about overworking game developers?
I mean, he's probably laughing. He's like, whatever those Rockstar guys' hours are, 100 hours a week, that's like me being on vacation. Sakurai's been doing 100-hour weeks since he was born, it seems.
Does he know that people in Japan are dying from working too much?
I honestly, I can't even imagine what Sakurai's like past 20 years have been like. I can't even comprehend how tired that man must be. I mean, he brings it upon himself. Like, everything that gets added to that game is like his idea. The more content that game gets, it's Sakurai's fault. So
You don't think it's Nintendo cracking the whip? Or what about the invisible hand of the free market cracking the whip instead?
no, because at this point Nintendo just trusts Sakurai to make it. He makes it with Sora, his own company, in combination with Bandai Namco. Nintendo don't actually develop Smash. They just give him free reign to use the intellectual properties and stuff like that. So I don't know. That guy must be tired. Incineroar though looks pretty cool.
You're gonna have to fill me in on this Incineroar thing, because my attention was totally on the plant.
Incineroar is the final evolution of Litten, the fire starter from Sun and Moon. Google him.
Yeah, I don't know
He's
these
as cute
people.
as fuck.
I am Googling right now.
But Incineroar is this badass wrestler cat, fire cat, that uses wrestling moves and then once he's done a move, every time he's done a move, he pulls a pose. Because he's fucking awesome. And he looks great. Smash is looking great. And the whole World of Light story mode where Kirby is the savior of the Earth and everyone else dies in a Avengers-style fashion looks interesting.
Okay, you're gonna have to explain that one to me, because that just sounds like they're spoiling the story.
No, I imagine it's the start of the story.
So the start is that Kirby has to survive in a post-apocalyptic Smash wasteland?
No, I think it's like something happens, everyone gets possessed, it looks like. Kirby's the first character you start out with because Kirby's the one that didn't get possessed, and then you unlock other characters.
Kirby is God.
Kirby is God, and also, you know...
Kirby is a terrifying and lovely overlord who loves you but will eat you and leave you to nothing at their whim.
Yeah. Kirby is also Sakurai's baby, so Kirby gets a free pass.
Like,
Oh yeah, that's right.
Kirby reminds me of the god from Dragon Ball Super. What is it called?
Oh, Boo!
No.
Majin Buu.
Beerus.
Oh.
Is that what the little kid is called?
Wait, what?
The god from Dragon Ball Super, the kid.
Oh, like the one that's like the guy who is the most powerful thing in the universe.
Yes.
The one who likes Goku, even though Goku's super insulting.
Right. That's what Kirby reminds me of.
I forget his name, but I know what you mean. I know which character you mean. Like, yeah. Kirby's pretty baller, and it looks like Kirby's going to be the hero of the universe in this game.
Kirby can be no other things in any universe.
Kirby's awesome. Let's put it that way.
God, Smash is weird as hell to begin with, but now it's just weird as hell to end with.
Also, you should have watched it. There was a lot of MGS stuff in there that you would have picked up on.
Yeah, but I can watch it on YouTube later.
That's true. Speaking of big lineups, disappointing lineups.
We got another story. Wait, okay, so our next story is the PlayStation lineup, the PlayStation Classic official lineup. I don't know if it's that disappointing, so much as just a little more hit and miss than the usual ones. They got Metal Gear Solid on there, which we were all concerned about. right, guys?
Yeah. Like, I like how
Very
many
concerned.
games of these have been re-released already, like on Steam and stuff.
Well, let's see what we got. We can go down the list. They got Battle Arena Tanshiden, which is an extremely early PS1 fighting game.
It was
with
a launch
hilarious
title,
voice
wasn't it?
acting. Was it?
Yeah.
It looks like one.
Yeah. When you say
I-
launch title PS1, you pretty much think of the worst graphics known to man.
We got Cool Borders 2. Remember Cool Borders 2? The only reason I know about Battle Arena Tanshiden is that I remember how bad the graphics and voice acting were. I guess it's a
Toshinden.
PlayStation memory, then throw it in the 20-game lineup. I have no clue what Destruction Derby is. That sounds like it could describe a lot of games from the era. And then we have some really good, solid choices that seem like no-brainers. There's Final Fantasy VII, Grand Theft Auto 1, although 2 probably would have been the better choice. Metal Gear Solid, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, Rayman, Resident Evil Director's Cut. Good. Oh, yeah. Revelations Persona 1. Which
Super
is,
Puzzle
is
Fighter.
a fine dungeon crawler.
Super
And then
No, Super Puzzle Fighter. No, don't hate on Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo.
well, it's 'cause I didn't.
Super Puzzle Fighter 2
I
Turbo
never
is
really
pretty
got
much
into
one of the
them.
best choices in this list.
Yeah, it's freaking hell. Oh my god, you never played that, George? That's like the number one
I never
rent
played Super Puzzle Fighter 2
at
Turbo.
Blockbuster, man. You go to Blockbuster.
Oh.
You go home. You play
well, now there's
little
Gamefly.
men, little Ryu, and Ken. You bust each other's
You play
ass
with
and
your
make
little
little
men.
gems come out and collect all the gems. It's satisfying as a collecting gem thing and a fighter. It's a little weird.
So yeah, there's some good choices in there. There's Intelligent Cube, which I doubt many people remember, but is a really solid puzzler. You got Jumping Flash. They threw a Ridge Racer in there, and a Tekken, and then. Oh yeah, and Twisted Metal and Wild Arms which is fine. And then there's stuff like Siphon Filter is... I remember that as well, not for it being great, though. And the PS1 version of Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, which, if I remember from back in the day, was widely regarded as the worst version of that very good game. The PlayStation one had a arcadey one-man army kind of shtick going on, which was the exact opposite of the whole ethos of that game. Yeah. You couldn't switch from squad members to squad members, and everyone took a little more bullets than in the PC version. And I don't know if they did the planning phase in the PS1 version or not, but yeah, it's an okay list, but I guess that's kind of a wake-up call as to just how easier it is for Nintendo to arrange these things.
It's an okay list. That's all it is.
But Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, though. Yo, that's hype.
Yeah, but one game, you're basically buying one game for, $80 or whatever. What is it?
Sorry, $80? Sorry, what?
Wait, how much is it again? Like $100?
Is it?
Wait.
How much is it?
Oh, wait a minute. This is a standalone classic thing, like the Nintendo.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Where have you been? Where the fuck have you been?
I thought it was like a thing that they were adding onto like PSN. I didn't know that it.
This is a mini PS1 that you buy.
I don't know why I was thinking that. Oh my god.
Why couldn't they do something like Medal of Honor instead of Rainbow Six?
Why couldn't they just do the Japanese version that has cool games like Saga Frontier and G Darius and other stuff like that?
Oh my god. Wow. What a bad list. Like, cuz
I was joking.
See, now he's awake.
Well, the thing is, like, Puzzle Fighter is not on PSN. So I was like, oh, they're bringing some more classics. But I didn't realize that you mean classic as in that's what it's called. That's what the little box is called. Yeah.
No Castlevania Symphony of the Night. No Resident Evil 2.
Silent Hill 1.
No Silent Hill.
God, they're definite. Yeah, actually, Konami is only represented with MGS.
No
here,
Final Fantasy Tactics.
There's definitely a lot they could have done.
No Gran Turismo.
It's basically like buying a half-eaten pizza. Like, let's be honest.
Oh yeah,
Not cold. It's not cold pizza,
off.
but it's half-eaten.
No Tony Hawk.
And it's a good pizza, but there's just half of it, and you gotta reheat it in the microwave. It's not fresh.
Not microwave. Come on, you gotta use the oven. What's wrong with you? You used to be a chef.
I'm buying a half-eaten pizza classic rather than the real thing.
Oh my god.
I don't have an oven. I live in Japan, so.
Yo, if you don't have an oven, you put that junk on the frying pan and you fry that thing. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
never use
crunch of aluminum foil.
No
radiation.
Hawk, no Xenogears.
Tony Hawk would have made so much sense. It would have been so on brand.
Tony Hawk 2, man. Oh my god. Why?
No Chrono Cross.
And why GTA 1 instead of 2?
Why Abe's Odyssey? Or for that matter, why Siphon Filter or Rainbow Six? No Suikoden 2.
I can appreciate the decision to put Resident Evil Director's Cut on there, but they're aware that it has the bad music, right? Yeah.
I've just realized as well.
Yeah.
No Crash.
Yeah.
No Spyro.
Yeah.
Weird.
That is weird. Yeah. No Tomb Raider either.
They could have made a better list if they just went to Metacritic and just put best PS1 game. How can you mess this up? Is it light?
I don't know whether this has been
But that's the thing. I don't know if we can be so hyper negative about it because they still, got Metal Gear Solid. There's still a Twisted Metal in there somewhere. There was thought put into it. I imagine they just, couldn't strike up all the deals.
Okay, let's survey then. Let's survey. Honestly, being 100% honest, what games on that list, if you had it, would you actually play? And I mean like actually play. I don't mean like turn on for 10 minutes and turn off. I mean like what game would you actually go back and play? Like if you think about the Super Nintendo classic,
Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo.
I easily went back and played all the way through Super Punch-Out, all the way Super Castlevania 4, all the way through A Link to the Past, all the way through Donkey Kong Country. Like, what games on this list would you actually go back and play them?
I am counting 8 out of the 20.
That's still under half, and you're probably being generous.
I'm way under half. I'm way under half.
Like I have no reason to load up this version of Rainbow Six at all ever.
I wouldn't play this version of Metal Gear Solid either.
What? Why not?
I don't know. Just like the
I wonder
PS1.
I wonder how Psycho Manus's memory card reading is going to work here.
I heard you like Abe's Odyssey.
It's like a newer recording from a voice actor like 20 years older who's pretending.
I heard you like Ridge Racer Type 4. I would play Mr. Driller. Probably Persona.
I'd definitely start with the Persona series here on the $100 PlayStation Classic.
This game's so hard, by the way, as well. I don't think people realize, like, the original Persona is fucking hard. It's like super old school hard Japanese RPG. Like,
I'll do
bash your head against
RE1
the
again
wall hard.
in a heartbeat.
Super Puzzle
RE
Fighter
is
2 Turbo,
fun
I'd
as
do.
hell. Yeah, and I'd want to play that out of curiosity.
I'd play Tekken
I'll do
3
Metal
with a
Gear
friend.
Solid again, whatever. Final Fantasy 7 again. I'll see how long I can last.
No, but this is what I
Oddworld
mean.
Abe's
Like
Odyssey is doable.
actually play. Like, are you really gonna go through Final Fantasy 7 again?
Not all the way through, unless
Matt, are you on for
really
a
get
third
hooked.
run through of Final Fantasy 7 in recent times?
Nope.
But I
I'm
definitely
done.
would want to do the first disc again. That the first disc is a good
I will
time.
run- I would
haven't
play-
we had this discussion?
I would, yeah. We did like 3 times.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would play through the first disc again with someone who wanted to play Final Fantasy.
And that's
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
would do here. I'd play like the first few hours, and once I start noticing it tapering off, I just move on with my life.
Yeah, exactly.
What would you guys be
But-
more excited by? This or like a potential or very inevitable Nintendo 64 classic?
I'd be more hyped for the
Nintendo,
N64
yeah,
Classic.
for
actually.
sure, absolutely.
You can't use that controller on an emulator, is why.
If the N64 classic has Mischief Makers on it, I'm sold. I'm done.
Hey, there's some
But-
Nintendo 64 USBs. You never got one of those?
No, because that's extra shit you gotta buy.
Oh my god, they're like less than $10.
George
They've
won't
gotta
do
be.
You
anything
gotta
unless
wait
it's
3
free.
days for shipping and get out your credit card, and that's
God.
$10 I could spend on pizza that'll make me feel miserable.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay.
I think at this point in my life, I like freezer pizza better than delivery, even the good delivery.
Freezer pizza tastes kind of. What were you getting? DiGiorno or something? Like freezer pizza kind of sucks.
No, bruschetta.
Oh, fancy. Mm.
Yeah, no. Like if you go a tier higher than Tombstone and DiGiorno, you can get some surprisingly good.
Get some of that dollar frozen pizza, man.
No,
it has
no,
a special taste
no
that you could
$1
just
frozen
never.
pizza.
You can never replicate.
Metallic.
Like it's like a
Yeah,
like a
there's
good
metal in there
cardboard.
somehow.
You know. You're like, man,
Guys-
this makes me feel like garbage, but my God, is it satisfying to eat 2 of these things?
I would take good cardboard over Japanese pizza any day. So stop making me jealous.
Japanese pizza tastes like those. They taste like the $1 roll them out from a tube party pizzas that no normal people.
Japanese people can't
like
make
to eat.
American food.
No, they can't. They,
They
can't
can't.
make.
They do fried chicken real good. They do. Remember the Family chicken?
Oh my god, yeah, me and George in Osaka, I was like, I remember specifically taking George on an adventure to get Famichiki because Famichiki's so good.
Anyways, yeah, no, Japan does good fried chicken, bad pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
It does very good chicken. It does meat very well all around. But when it tries to do Italian food, oh my god.
Wait, is that good or bad? Because I imagine they like got the noodles down pat.
No, like Japanese Italian food is disgusting. I have been to Japanese Italian restaurants
They're everywhere, I remember.
that use ketchup, full on ketchup, as like tomato as pasta tomato sauce.
No.
Oh yeah, they're tomatoes. You know, the classic Italian crop that totally wasn't imported from elsewhere.
Someone tried to defend it to me once, saying that actual Italian people do that, and I was like, I'm not fucking buying it, because no matter, even if they do, like, this is not right.
Speaking of judging products as garbage or not in front of a pre-recorded, not in the
Live
studio audience.
audience.
We have a new section. Well, new. We've been doing this for a few months now and might actually be rotating it out for a different audience participation game soon. But it's time for Dad Din.
Oh, is the song playing right now?
No, Matt, cue the music for when you inevitably have
Nothing to
given
say?
up.
Okay. All right. So this is when I
When you've
leave?
given up on their pitches being too long.
Yeah. I see
so-
a couple
these
theses
are-
here. I see a couple theses, thesi, whatever
I
you want to
can't
call it.
believe you think these are. I can like fit one submission in like half a window
No,
on my
the first
1080p
one-
screen.
No, the first one's good. First one's a good size. First
Yeah.
one's a good size.
The second one
right,
is,
well-
it's getting close.
The third one's even smaller than the first one.
No, I think Matt, you're looking at the first and the second combined.
I'm looking at the
together.
second and the third one together. That's what happened.
Ah, there you go.
That's what happened. There's a lot of bold letters going on because
I'm gonna blame George.
the way you put this up here. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Someone's at the door. I'll be right back.
Yes, that's right. It's Dad Din, an audience participation game in which we will be judging your fantasy game ideas in a manner very, very similar to the popular TV show Shark Tank or Dragon's Den, depending on your location of the localization of the concept. Send us via email to dadandsonspodcast@gmail.com your game ideas. List their name, their core gameplay gimmick concept,
The pitch line.
the themes, the art style, and most importantly, the time and budget that you would expect this imaginary game idea to take place. Probably not a good idea to send in real game ideas that you actually may want to capitalize on someday.
Any ideas you send in to us, we officially own from now on.
Yeah.
But it's all in good fun. There's no way we can make every single game we receive here
No, we could just make the best one.
within a 4-year window.
Wrestling Manager is still the best one.
I don't know. I was kind of a fan of that, Bob Johns does that. Ooh, I smoked the weed. I'm Bob Dylan. Anyways, I mean, it would play Call of Duty quotes from famous people named Bob or John when he died. All right. Let's serious up. We have Jonas K, who submits a game called Heisenberg Space Berg. Heisenberg is a humorous educational point-and-click adventure that teaches you the core concepts of quantum mechanics. The gameplay is heavily inspired by LucasArts and Daedalus' fun and lighthearted point-and-click adventure games. The puzzles will test and build understanding intuitively. An example of a puzzle would be having springy shoes on which you can hop, but not quite high enough to reach the highest shelf. Closing the door of a room will utilize the uncertainty principle and allow you to jump higher. Don't worry, there will be plenty of hints to find. After each puzzle, there is a short, skippable video of an actual physicist explaining why what you did worked the way it did and what analogs there are in the real world. The story is that Professor Dr. Rurnat, are those prefixes for medical titles or scientific titles? Have you guys ever seen that before? Rurnat?
No.
Professor Dr. Rurnat Heisen has played with nature again and increased the Planck constant by 31 orders of magnitude. Suddenly everything becomes weird. Mugs fall through desks spontaneously, computers stop working outright, and cars get faster when they are parked in tighter lots. Your job is to find the professor in his castle and fix this issue. The art style is going to be simple, cutesy, hand-drawn sprites. Compare it to Edna's Breakout, which I will do a search for right now. And the time and budget estimates that point-and-click adventures of this type had been created by individuals in less than a year. We estimate around 1 year of dev/game design time, which would be $25,000 plus $5,000 for commissioned art and music. So I'd like to ask Dad's Den for $30K in total. Oh, and we totally will make schools and universities pay us loads of cash for not actually cheaper, but educational licenses.
I was going to say, so this is like a completely educational game then?
It sounds like it. It sounds like it. They want to teach quids. They want to teach kids quantum multiverse bullshit.
Wait, what?
It sounds like they want to teach kids about
quantum mechanics, which is cool.
I guess, but at the same time,
he doesn't say multiple universes. He says quantum mechanics.
Wait, I thought they were related concepts.
But, well,
I just have this image of my mind of those old, I say old, but when I was in elementary school, we had these point-and-click games that, like, it's almost like you were playing Zelda, and you had to do math problems in order to beat the spider and then walk up the ladder and stuff like that.
That sounds terrible.
It got me.
Yeah.
It got me playing those games. Learning math and stuff like that. So, it's not that
I know exactly
bad.
what you mean, though. Like the early 90s PC point-and-click stuff that was like half educational, half a game.
Half ass.
Yeah.
So
There's
I know
always tie-in
nothing.
ones, like Arthur tie-in ones. Arthur goes to the school, but the
Yes.
school bus broke down, and then you have to go collect shit to fix the school bus or something like that. Yeah.
I know nothing. I'm a big dummy. I'm a fat burnt ice cream idiot who eats pizza, and I'm Wikipediaing quantum mechanics here. Quantum mechanics, including quantum field theory, is a fundamental theory in physics which describes nature at the smallest scales of energy levels of atoms and subatomic particles. Which sounds like something that makes sense.
Yeah, as I said, we're not talking about multiple universes or anything. We're talking about quantum mechanics.
I think that's just how little
Also,
of
did you
of
miss that the
universes
name?
I know.
Did you miss that the name of the game, Heisenberg, is a reference to obviously Heisenberg, not Walter White,
but the
scientist Werner Heisenberg.
So
who
he
was a
from
quantum theoretical physicist?
Yeah, quantum mechanics was substantially elaborated. He is known for the Heisenberg uncertainty principles. Okay.
George, get off Wikipedia.
What's the Heisenberg uncertainty principle? How big of an idiot am I?
The uncertainty principle is what he's known for, right? It's like the...
Well, that doesn't answer the question.
It's something to do with like... like mathematical uncertainties. It's like calculating stuff based on unknown mathematical inequalities.
In quantum mechanics, the uncertainty principle is any of a variety of mathematical inequalities asserting a fundamental limit to the precision with which certain pairs of physical properties of a particle known as a complementary variable, such as position x and momentum p, can be known. What? What? What kind of particles are we talking about? Poo particles?
Maybe, but I'm thinking maybe we need to fund this game so we can actually find out what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know if... I think I need to get an education in physics before I can make a judgment on whether or not I want to fund a game educating the kids of physics.
Yeah, we need to hire an expert. Can we hire Heisenberg back from the dead?
Deltarune. See, okay, the other thing that I think is a little confusing about this idea is that with point-and-click adventure games that have abstract puzzles, the genre kind of sort of moved away from having abstract puzzles all entirely and turned into
not only abstract, but
narrative
like
visual novels.
These would be puzzles based on one of the most mind-boggling aspects of our known universe. These are going to have to be some pretty incredible puzzles.
What is this one example? Closing the door of a room will utilize the uncertainty principle and allow you to jump higher? I mean, if there's like a window open, maybe you could like change the air pressure but it seems like the idea is to watch physics not obey predictable laws of cause and effect, which sounds like a bunch of really annoying puzzles.
I like how he wants to add in real-world videos of actual physicists explaining what you did worked the way it did. So you would stumble your way through these puzzles not having any fucking idea what you're doing, only to then have a video of a physicist explain what it was that you did and why it did what it did.
And if the reason is because of a magical professor used magic to rearrange the atoms of things, then how is it like
don't compare science to
player
magic,
being a
George.
child? Well, I mean, it's magic until you figure out how it works, and then it's science.
Science is magic in the fun kind of way. Not in the like hoaxy Trumpian kind of way. I mean, he only wants 30,000 for it. I'm not really sure these days how many educational games actually get sold, considering video games is such a huge market that this kind of stuff doesn't really appear in schools that much anymore. You know, Minecraft is like one of the biggest tools for this kind of stuff. So it is, and like no one is going to buy this outside of the educational market, apart from maybe if you stuck it on Steam and a few people would be interested.
That just makes me think of better ways to teach kids about complicated abstract science that us adults don't know. Like a point-and-click adventure game. Right. But you could make a sandbox builder to depict the simulated science. A point-and-click adventure game is like it's a fundamentally different kind of teaching concept. You're asking the player to do logic puzzles, but if the solutions break the player's expected train of logic, then that kills the whole genre.
Yeah, like if you are stumbling your way through the answers, you're not actually figuring things out. You're just trying every outcome to have it then explained to you. It's not fun.
Elimination.
Yeah, process of elimination to the answer is not very fun.
On the other hand, if I could like zoom a camera angle into a coffee mug so far that I can see the individual atoms of the coffee mug, and then like point and click an atom out of the arrangement, and then zoom out and watch the whole coffee mug like turn into a cow or something, that would be great. Like if they could actually like create a builder on a quantum scale that conveys what is going on a quantum scale and how it relates to things on an ordinary scale. Yeah, that would be a lot more fun.
I don't know. It's not a point-and-click adventure game then. Maybe if you could have like the physicist explain what the problem was and give you like an idea of how to solve it, like this puzzle uses the uncertainty principle. I wonder why.
It really just has my brain going about how weird it would be to zoom a video game camera into an object so far that you can see it made up out of individual atoms. Maybe there's some kind of like voxel-based algorithm they could develop that could generate millions upon millions of atoms that make up an ordinary household object that players could play with. And that, I can't believe that sounds like what this segment is great for. Stimulating our ideas for like for new game concepts that haven't been around that can relate to old hat concepts. And I guess that's why I'm a little confused and disappointed by this entry. I still love you, Jonas K, though. But it's making me think of other ways with other genres that might explore similar educating concepps.
Yeah. What did I miss? Oh my god, I was gone for 10 minutes and you guys went from 10 to 0 like real quick.
We're splitting the atom here on the Dad and Sons podcast.
Well, I didn't hear any of the negatives, so I'm just gonna fund it. Out of nostalgia.
Well, that's that then.
I
There
guess
you go.
for context, Matt had to run off and get his gas bill set up.
My gas bill. I like how everything is bills. Well, the gas guy came in and turned on all the gas so I can, not freeze to death tonight. So that's good.
So, we got another submission by Jamin R. They submit Silenced, a Tiefling story. The setting is a mostly typical fantasy one in a kingdom 20 years after a war against demons that ravaged the land and brought forth half-human, half-demon people called tieflings. You play as a young tiefling girl who has everything taken from her home, her family, and even her voice. Tieflings are naturally born with magical abilities, but without a voice, the protag will have to find alternate means to cast spells. The gameplay will copy the first two Paper Mario games because Nintendo won't make another game like that until they get tired of people yelling at them. Turn-based RPG with action commands, a small group of partners that help you in and out of battle in unique ways, like a harpy that you can fly to places you can't reach, a thief that can make you dash quickly in a straight line, and equipping relics in a RE4 attaché case-esque equip screen to unlock new moves and abilities. The art style is going to be something simple, either with pixels or hand-drawn doodles with limited frames of animation, 2 to 3 frames for most animations, no more than 5 with the complex ones. It needs to have a picture book type look to it. Soundtrack is going to be mostly chiptune music, except for the boss fights, where the music changes to more traditional instruments. The game will be heavily story-based, with the main theme being about loss and how to deal with and understand it. The main character's inability to speak can help convey their feeling of hopelessness, limiting them to mostly using facial expressions, while simultaneously lessening the word count of the story to help move the game along and not have things drag out. This can also give partners time to shine with one-on-one conversations and group chats while resting up at a tavern. Budget. This is some indie shit for a game that'll be 6 to 10 hours long, made by a small dev team of a few people, so $30K, give or take.
30K will be one person for...
Yeah, $30K is a year's salary of okay standard
living. It's a low
living.
salary for one person.
Yeah, very low. Well, I would say that's the normal salary.
It's YouTube money
in
ad revenue
in Georgia. The normal salary. 30K.
I guess it depends on.
No, it's 30K. If you're working retail,
there's
it's 30K. Let that reality
that
sink in, George. Let that reality sink in.
I mean, I've been making less than that for all but 1 year of my life.
Do you pay rent with 30K?
You have roommates.
Yes. You do.
You have a roommate that you split the rent with. You You have no car. You take public transportation.
Yeah.
You're still able to eat food though, but if you're George, you have a roommate and don't have a car.
Yes. Sad truth. Tieflings.
Tieflings.
Yeah. The slow.
I switched off. When you describe your pitch as the setting is mostly typical,
it sounds.
I'm not really
very
interested.
Typical. It sounds like a lot of games.
Turn-based RPG with action commands. I mean, I like turn-based RPGs with action commands. That's good.
Yeah, it's
so basically
fun.
what you're saying
like
is that this is the
the
same gameplay, but really the story is what gets you to play the rest of it.
Which means that we'd have to get some dialogue, like a real demo. I don't know if you can make this game sound appealing by describing the scenario. It sounds like the strength
it's
is
like Super Mario, but in D&D.
I don't know. Like, the story is interesting enough. He's created a new type of race.
No, that's a D&D.
They sound like hobbits.
No, no. Tieflings are from Dungeons and Dragons. What's wrong with you people?
Yeah, I knew I heard that name before somewhere.
They do not. Just Google it. They do not look like.
Oh, those aren't hobbits.
No, they're not.
I completely missed that they were like fiends, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the thing is, like, when you're working with very well established fantasy tropes like this, like in The Witcher's case, you have a very typical medieval fairy tale Tolkienian setting, but the gimmick is that it's like a criticism of Grimm's fairy tales seen through a like kind of depressed Soviet, beaten and battered Poland lens, and that's not. That's the thing. I don't know if there's kind of sort of a hook here. The thing with the voice and the hopelessness is a character.
I think we're being a bit unfair. Like this features a girl. No, this features a girl character that had stuff taken from her, which is typical. But then she had her voice taken from her. Tieflings are naturally born with magical abilities, but without a voice, the protagonist will have to find alternate means to cast spells. That is an intriguing gameplay point right there that not many games have done. So
what are we drawing spells with our mouse? Like, what are we doing?
Exactly, right? So, like, how are we doing it? Like, that is intriguing, but obviously it needs to be fleshed out upon. And also, there's
mute video game protagonist is normal video game protagonist, but if that affects the spellcasting system, you should dwell on that. Talk more about why it's unique on a mechanical level.
Explain more to us about that. That would be good. But also, like, there are little nuggets that I like. Like, you can equip relics, which I guess are items, in a Resident Evil 4 attaché case-esque equip screen. So, like, the Tetris-esque minigame from Resident Evil 4. I like that. That's cool. I like that. Not many games have done that afterwards. I like that.
And when they do, people like it. People like the inventory in the Deus Ex games that use RE4
It is
style.
very strange that people like, including myself, like the Resident Evil 4 case inventory screen. It's cumbersome as fuck because it stops you, but for some reason it just is so satisfying. So
it's also like kind of adds a layer of immersion to, like, you can imagine having to arrange a backpack. We've all been there. We've all had to arrange our backpacks. It's like a gamified shared experience that everyone's gone through.
Although we're going down into like art style, and then it's like you want to like portray a character that you say the main character's inability to speak can help convey their feeling of helplessness, limiting them to mostly using facial expressions. But then you're saying that the art style would be something simple with pixels or hand-drawn doodles with limited frames of animation, 2 to 3 frames for most animations. How are you going to portray complex facial expressions that convey helplessness of someone who can't speak with only 2 to 3 frames of animation? Even Mega Man's run cycle from the NES has more than 3 frames. So
camera
how
shakes,
are you going to
camera shakes?
Everything's better with camera shakes.
Everything.
So, like, how are you going to portray?
I don't know, you guys.
It needs a gimmick. I say let's do like a really like weird Toby Fox thing where you have to cast the spells for her. You're like the voice in her mind or whatever, and you cast the spells for her. So you have to like say into your mic, "See,
there you go. You've already made the game better. But that's not our job. Our job is to just give them money.
I don't know if I feel good about giving them. I need to see more, or hear more, or learn more. I need more.
Jamin needs to bring Matt on for the development team.
I think I wish I could make a game. I think I'm gonna put my money up just because it's a D&D
That's
character.
2 games. That's 2 games that you've done it now.
I'm feeling very generous today.
Liam, how generous do you feel?
No, I'm letting Matt take this one.
Oh no! You're gonna I'm gonna run out of money.
Both of them are only $30K. Like, you're never gonna make
gas bills too.
I do have gas bills to pay.
You're never gonna make either of those games with only $30K. But let's see how far you go.
So,
have we ever had a submission where the budget actually was like reasonably thought out?
Wait. Well, let's not bash them so quickly. Maybe they have a different life than what we do. They don't understand. You know, like every place is different. You don't know where J-Min
maybe
lives.
they have 2 roommates.
Maybe 30K is like enough. But my God, 30K is not enough in Georgia, and it definitely ain't enough in California. I tell you that. Tell you that you'll be homeless.
Matt's just spent $30K on his gas bill for the month. Come on, guys.
We had to edit the podcast to let him go pay $30,000 in gas.
Oh my god. Yeah, the gas bill is ridiculous.
All right, so I got
30K
one more.
ridiculous.
One more really fast one. Perpetual Jive has submitted a game that would be called Boom Platoon. Boom Platoon is the name of my game and also a team of 80s cool demolition workers. Think if the Ghostbusters, Ninja Turtles, or Fast and Furious guys had a demolition company. They've got real-life, massive construction vehicles like bulldozers and dump trucks, but also have giant robots and other fantasy vehicles like a motor trike with a missile launcher. When a bunch of trucks carrying nuclear warheads got hacked and go out of control, the smallest collision will mean the end.
Why is everything Metal Gear?
It's your... How is this... Oh, yeah, I could... Snake, it's your job to demolish buildings to clear the way for the warhead in maps that feature rural, suburban, and urban environments.
It's just Metal Gear.
After you've cleared the path, you can return to old maps to free roam and collect collectibles. Additional maps exist with time trials and other diversions. After clearing all the maps and collecting certain collectibles, you undo the hack after a final gauntlet, Mario style, testing your skill with various vehicles. Budget. I need $50 million in 3 years to make this.
Shoot.
It doesn't need to be AAA quality for graphics. Something that looks like it's from 1997 would probably be good enough for my vision. Invest extra and I will include a post-game where you can demolish a path for the space shuttle to land and have extra levels on the moon and other planets. Please invest!
Yo, this guy is definitely taking some money off the top. 50 mil? 50 mil,
50
though?
mil. And if we want to make more, we have to give him extra.
Nah, man. 50 mil, though?
To be fair,
I like how
he
we've
was
gone
like
from too small to too big.
he was like on a roll. Like Boom Platoon is a fucking cool name. 80s cool demolition workers. Think of the Ghostbusters, the A-Team, the Ninja Turtles, the Fast and Furious. You got
I love the
bulldozers
idea.
and dump trucks. You ride it around and fancy.
It's like
versions of
reverse
that.
lemmings. You could
Yeah.
make some cool puzzle situations out of this.
You're like taking
concept.
down the Shagohod, like.
by just making sure it doesn't crash into anything, by destroying everything in its path for it.
Hard pass. Hard pass.
Pat, really? You give your money to all the other crap?
Crap? Excuse me? Crap? Crap?
Man, this
Listen,
game has...
listen, I'm 50 mil. I'm 50 mil up, okay? You guys are 50 mil down. I'm good. Okay?
George, I will admit Matt could make 833 silenced a Tiefling story and Heisenberg's for the price of Boom Platoon.
Yes. Yes. I could even toss an extra mil into Tiefling story. You know, make sure I add a couple more frames. Maybe 5 frames a second instead of 2 or 3.
I was on board with Boom Platoon, but yeah, I don't have 50 mil.
Man, you guys... Yeah, 50 million's a lot.
As again, George, put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, man.
I really like the idea. I think for $50 million in 3 years, they could definitely get it done.
Oh, see, you thought we were going to split this 3 ways. Nah, this ain't happening.
Nah.
This ain't happening. This is all you, bro.
We're going to be splitting the sponsor money.
Yeah, but that's us being paid.
Yeah, I feel like I'm all alone on this one, but it sounds like an okay idea. $50 million is a lot of money.
I wonder if there's like a dad or son or a fan out there who has taken some of the Dad Den ideas and like started using them in game dev story. Like has been playing through game dev story and has used some of the Dad Den submissions. That would be interesting to see.
That would work, yeah.
That would be super interesting to see. Like taking the themes of each one and the names and the budget.
That's really good, dude. That's a really good idea.
And seeing how well they go. We could do a stream one time with some ideas of that.
Yeah.
Like get game dev story, take the themes of some Dad Den submissions and the name, and then see how well they do on game dev story compared to our own predictions for how much we think they would do.
I think people should do their math before, because $30,000 is too low, $50 million is too high. Both of them sound like really big numbers in the short term, but keep in mind, $50 million, that's over 1,000 times as much as a 30K way more.
We've done this before, but like for context, like a game like Halo 3 had a budget of like at the time about 35 million.
So Boom Platoon might not need $50 million.
No, I don't think so.
I'll give you your 3 years, but
you
but
know,
I think
games
you might have added an
like-
extra zero.
Games
on that.
like, you know, mid-tier games, like not quite AAA.
Let's just take off a few zeros from your budget, and I'm good. And then I'm good.
I'd give you 500,000. I'd give you $500,000.
I'd give him $5 mil. I think $5 mil. I think would be super reasonable for making a very high quality Boom Platoon.
I like the name.
You know, you look at Kickstarter successes like Bloodstained and Double Fine's Adventure, Broken Age. Those games are getting made for like 4 to 5 million, a little bit extra.
Still less than 50 mil.
You know, 50 mil is a bit out. And also, depending on how long a game takes, you got to think about the overheads. You know, even if you were just one guy working at a desk, you still got to pay yourself your salary.
Got to pay your gas bill.
Got to pay your 30K gas bill.
Have you guys played an N64
Jesus.
game called Body Harvest?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you getting vibes from this pitch for Body Harvest, or was it just me?
What? That is just you.
Okay.
This is like
wondering.
this is like a camp version. I was gonna say a camp version of MGS, but that doesn't make sense because a camp version of MGS just is MGS. This is like a cartoony, bombastic A-team version of MGS to me.
The emphasis on like big vehicles and like.
Do you remember Mega's
Tonka aesthetic?
Do you remember Mega's XLR? Do you ever see that show?
Megas? No. Oh, especially if it was a show.
It was a cartoon show on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
George
yeah,
didn't
I
watch
missed
anything
that one.
when he grew up. He just
Mega's XLR.
I watched
I'm getting Mega's XLR version, vibes from it.
Well, I guess what we can glean from that is that the pitch is kind of evoking a familiar pop culture cornerstone that is activating nostalgia in us. I don't know. I think it's a really good idea.
it's because of the name, Boom Platoon.
Yeah, Boom Platoon, and the theme is there. Like the gameplay, he just says demolish buildings, like to clear way for the warheads in the map. So, like, are you just doing the same thing over and over again? Destroying like Red Faction guerrilla style, destroying things, and that's it. Like, what is the actual
Even
gameplay?
still, you can do puzzles with that. It's like a bridge constructor, like a lemmings, like basically drawing a predicted path out for a vehicle and seeing the result of your drawn path. It drives player expression. It teaches very elegantly the cause and effect of the mechanics of the system. It's a tried and true concept, but it's never like I can't think of any examples off of my brain where it was done with this specific angle where the idea was destruction rather than construction, but similar stuff.
I don't know. I think if I knew the gameplay loop, it wasn't 50 million, I'd be in.
Yeah, 50 million is a little much. But you got like 5 million. I'd reasonably think that this thing could be done for 5 million.
Yep.
Definitely.
Sounds good.
Yep. Sounds good. Ka-ching. You got less money than you wanted. Enjoy.
Cue the music. Thank you guys for coming in and sitting down and listening.
If you like Dad and Sons, we've had a lot of comments about people saying they don't know that George has a second Super Bunny Hop channel. Type in Super Bunny Hop on YouTube and you will find the second channel, which is where the podcast is hosted on YouTube. So if you didn't know that,
Podcast is on several places of varying names.
Many people have commented saying they've only just found the podcast on YouTube because they didn't know.
Dare and Liam will see them.
Yep, I do.
And say hi.
I do look at it, the comments on YouTube.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't read comments much, as
Matt doesn't look at anything. So
I've
don't
always
bother
been
Matt.
scared of George's audience. So
You and me both.
but I'll make an honest effort one day. One day.
Don't worry, guys. I know. I see you there. I know you're
Liam
lovely.
sees you.
Matt
though.
will come round too. I've told Matt you're all lovely. Apart from
Yes.
that one guy.
Oh yeah, the one guy
Steve.
avoiding that
Oh,
one
no.
guy or girl.
There was one
human.
Matt, there was one great comment from last week. Would you like me to tell you what it was?
Sure.
Live on air. Do you want me to tell you what it was?
Sure.
Let me find it.
The music.
here it
The
is.
music's about to cut you off.
Dun, dun, dun. Matt's weekly contribution to the podcast. This game looks ugly and boring.
All right. Well, see you guys later. Bye.